do the presentation, you share your story. And that has been working really well for people.
Mm.
Um, they're able to get people on, and people have received the information really well. And it's just really this one simple change presentation that's on the Freedom Revolution.
Right. And you just alter the slides for what you want, right?
Right, and I haven't really altered any. Well, I may have changed where the planning and like the resources one comes in the middle, which is kind of strange. I put it towards the end, and I insert the story in the middle.
Right. It's kind of awkward. I think I had Brian Rose change that. I haven't looked since he told me he did. So he may have changed it.
Oh,
You can
awesome.
do it yourself too. You put the slides where you want them, or you hide the slides that you don't really feel comfortable. You know, if you're not comfortable talking about the shred or the omega or something, you don't have a tower garden, so you don't want to talk about it. I mean, you don't have to talk about all the slides when you do it. And then you can also add slides of your own family or some before and after pictures. So that's been working
Yeah,
out well for you,
probably.
Michelle?
Yeah, I actually added a slide about the Tower Garden and the cost of going to the grocery store and buying veggies versus like how much it would cost to have it per month. And then I also had another one where that breakdown of cost comparison, buying all those fruits and vegetables versus having a tower. So I added that one right after the Tower Garden slide so people can get a real idea of how much you save having a Tower Garden.
Love that. That's really good, Michelle. Okay, so what else is working for you guys? Or what are you excited about? And then we're going to go to Stacey. Stacey was nominated this morning by Doug's text to continue capturing conversations. So we're going to do that. I talked to her. She's got a lot more to say, which is always great. She's got a lot of wisdom. So we are live on Facebook and we're recording. But
Can
go
I
ahead.
can I ask a question about conference in October? It's saying that it's in St. Louis. So are we going through Travelinium? Because this morning I'm sitting here trying to reserve a hotel and it says all hotels are booked. So I'm guessing Travelinium booked them all up. I don't know.
I
Has
haven't
anyone tried?
I haven't heard that we're going for sure. So I don't know if you have.
Well, the official website says in October 21st. It's in St. Louis. It's like it's a picture showing that it's in St. Louis. So I'm like, okay, let me book, but I can't do anything. Like all the hotels are taken
Talk
for
to
that
our
date.
Eastern region director and see if we can get any kind of lowdown. They have not made an announcement, so maybe. I mean, that would be awesome. Thank you for bringing that to us. And
Okay.
about May Madness, Michelle. You guys need people. Is there a deadline that we should be aware of and stuff?
Today is actually the last day to sign up for May Madness. Now that you mention it, yes, today is the last day. And I think we now have enough captains. And yeah, we're pumped up because I really attribute doing this. We call it May Madness, but it's really the action game. And it's just really doing the income producing activities. And that's the DMO. And that really helped me get to qualified national marketing director last year. We played the game probably like 5 or 6 times. We started it right before the pandemic, ironically. And that was what pushed us through like the year because it helped keep up momentum. And when you have accountability, it makes you step up your game. So that's what I really love about it. Like sometimes I do need to be like, okay, Michelle, you are accountable for putting in points and you don't want your points to look like you haven't done anything, get it done. So just letting you know that it's a really good thing. I know some people are intimidated, but just go at your own pace, do what you can. And I think no matter what, you're winning because you're really learning how to do the activities in our business that pay off.
And they do say that a lot. You know, the captains say
Mhm.
it, the people running it say it. To be comfortable. You know, they just want you to learn the DMO. But also, I love what you said. What I remember, what it reminds me of, the accountability part is Elton DeBose said one time, if you write down things you do for business, like you would a food diary, then you would see where you spend your time. You know, do you spend your time more on just talking to your favorite people on the team? Or are you spending your time just working on customer care? Or are you spending your time on prospects? Are you spending your time on... So having like a little diary of where am I spending my time kind of helps you self correct work on different areas. Hi, she's ready to say hi. She had some food or something. She's good. All right, Natalie's daughter. Okay, so we now have a decent audience for Stacey. Oh, she's not here yet. Okay, so she's not back yet. All right, so any more awesome news, Gwen? Yes.
Okay, I have 2 events. Friday night, I'm doing an autoimmune event, and then Saturday, I'm starting cooking classes.
Oh
So
my.
I threw them in Team Transformers on Facebook and Boxer already. So you guys can invite, and we're going to do a wrap up. Another one, Janie and I are working together, and we're doing the autoimmune on Friday night. And we're going to do another one probably on Sunday because I'm going to be traveling Monday. So we're going to work that out and get the flyer out to you today for that.
Okay, so what time is Friday night autoimmune talk?
8 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect. Okay, and then what time is Saturday's cooking?
Noon Eastern or 10 a.m. my time. So it's a weird time during the middle of the day, but you just never know. So, and it's cooking. It's an interactive cooking thing. It's on my Zoom line. I've got a whole page set up on Facebook separately so people can follow there. Recipes and everything that you need. The ingredients are provided in the group. So you got to get in the group so you get the information, you know.
Nice. And Gwen, you also started a blitz for people who want like a couple hours later than 8 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 8 a.m. for you.
Yeah, it's much better. Or 7 a.m. for the people in California. So they don't have to get up super early to work in the morning. So yeah, I was on there today, but nobody showed up. But it doesn't matter. You know, that's what it's there for. It's just getting started. So hop on. It's just a work session and get in there and work.
Awesome. And then do we have an event tonight? No. Today's Wednesday. So Friday is our next event. Let's promote that. And then next Monday, there's a berry event, which sounds really awesome. So we want to get better at introducing the berries and making sure we are strongly recommending the trio too. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Stacey. You can bat it back and forth, Stacey, call on any of us, but we'll let you go from here.
All right, thanks, Sharon. I got a text message or a message from one of our team members, and she said, "Sorry, I can't be on, Stacey, when you're talking." So I sent Sharon. I was like, "Am I talking today?" I didn't know I was talking today. So we figured it out. But there were some information that we really didn't have. We ran out of time last time when I was talking about capturing conversations and really like capturing at the end of helping people get started, you know, taking Juice Plus, because that's the end game that we want, right? Like I remember thinking, I'm telling people about Juice Plus, but they're not ordering. I'm not helping them until they order and they start to take it. Like I mean, education is one thing, but the biggest change is going to be when they actually have that in their bodies and they're taking the capsules. And so I wanted to be effective at sharing, but also at getting them to actually order. And so part of that is overcoming objections. We've talked about that. So you pique the interest, you get into conversations. I wanted to share an example of getting into a conversation and how that went this week and meeting with this person last night. But I saw on Facebook, they had a pregnancy announcement. She's one of the kids' pastor's wife at our church. I mean, I've met her, I've talked to her at church, but we've not had them over for dinner. And I try to do that with, you know, the pastoral staff at the church and just to get to know them more. And so I had been wanting to anyway. And so I sent her a message and said, congratulations on the baby. I'm, you know, so excited for you that you guys are pregnant. How far along are you? How are you feeling? And she, you know, she said, I'm doing okay. Evenings are rough. And so we just kind of talked about that. We were chatting and I said, I would love for you to, I would love to share with you some of the things that were a total game changer for me with pregnancies and babies, if you're open. And she said, oh my gosh, yes, I feel like I'm going into this blind, like I'll take any advice I can. And I said, cool, like, would you rather do coffee or lunch? And she said, well, I work full time, so evenings are better for me. So I said, okay, how about dinner? Do you guys want to come to dinner? I've been wanting to have you guys over anyway. And she said, that would be great. And so I just said, what are you doing tomorrow night? And she said, nothing, we're free. And I said, okay, come over for dinner. So then I texted Jared and was like, hey, we're having dinner, guest over. So part of it is just being like flexible, and you just, if it works out, if you don't have anyone over, like if you don't have any plans, like just invite them over for dinner, right? Like make a plan. It could have been that we had to wait a week or whatever. So they came over for dinner last night and we were just chatting and talking. They got a message there was a car accident and they had to leave. One of the little ones at the church had been in a car accident and they had to go and help with that. So they had to leave, but real quick before they left, we had already talked, pregnancy and just how they met, and asked them lots of questions. And then I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to share with you, or some of the things I wanted to share, is Juice Plus. Have you heard of Juice Plus? Now, remember, they're like walking out the door quick. They're going to have to leave. We're all just kind of saying goodbye. And she said, I said, it's fruits and veggies in a capsule. And she said, oh yeah, that's right. Jill takes that, which is the pastor and his wife. And I said, yeah, they both take it. And she said, and Hannah, their daughter, who's on our team. And I said, yes. And I said, this is what I took when I was pregnant with my girls, and I didn't have it with Colin, and it was totally different. And so we talked just a few seconds about that. I mean, it was really quick. And I said, here, let me give you some shakes. These are chocolate and vanilla. This was such a blessing to me when I was just nauseous and I didn't want to eat, but I knew I needed something in my stomach. You can make a shake, and I'll send you some recipes. And I said, I have a couple books I want to share with you too. So we'll get together again, but you guys go and, let us know if you guys need any help with anything. And like, they left. So that was really how quick the conversation was. And then she texted me back and said, so sorry, we had to leave so early. And then I was like, it's no big deal. Let me send you some videos. And here's the recipes for Juice Plus and or for the shakes. And, I just made it super casual. And I said, one of the titles for the book is this, but I've got a couple others. We'll get together. You've got, 8 more months, like we're good or whatever. So that was how it ended. And so that was just one experience of like seeing somebody post something on Facebook and then capturing that conversation that was, just a post that they put out, and then moving it to the point where you actually share Juice Plus with them. So there has to be a lot of flexibility within that too. And then, as we overcome those objections that people have, that really does help move them to the point of actually ordering Juice Plus. And so this is just a process, right? Like maybe had we stayed longer and could have talked, it would have gotten to the point. I would have loved to have shared more with both of them so that they could both hear the information, but it just is what it is. And so as long as I follow up and continue the conversation, it'll be fine, or refer her back to Hannah. So, just keep that in mind. Does anyone have any examples of maybe how you've started a conversation with someone recently?
Well, I will tell you, I must have started a conversation about it years ago and forgot. I actually sent samples to a friend of mine who was interested in getting healthier. Fast forward to this past week, she actually sent me a text message and said, I'm interested in ordering the capsules, or the pills, she calls them, and the complete powder. And I was like, fantastic. So I called her to clarify and get her information. Actually, I sent her the cart because I put them in the cart and sent it to her, and she bought them. And then I called her and I said, I don't know if you'd be interested in the family health study, but you can get a free order for your child too. And she said, oh, fantastic, let's do that. And she said, and we talked, and she's kind of long-winded, so I may need some help in trying to figure out how to end those or wrap up those conversations. But it was really worthwhile, because at the end she said, oh, and these omegas, I'm interested in those too, but I don't like the fishy taste. And I said, well, these are perfect for you. So she ended up ordering 3 different things from me, which was great. But it's been a process of several years, and to the point where I even forgot that I had sent her samples. So you just never know, but those conversations may end up in a customer down the road.
I I have to say, Kristen is at the top of the leaderboard for customers this month. I didn't see how many. I think it was 9 or 10.
So Sharon, that's funny that you say that because I started this month out with not very many, maybe a couple. And I thought, oh no, some months we just are on and some months we're not. And it literally, I posted something on Saturday about, and I just thought, I hardly ever post anything really salesy on my Facebook page, but I thought, you know what? Throw caution to the wind. I'm just going to do it. And so I did, and I put it out there and I got 3 orders. 2 of those orders came in without even contacting me. They just showed up on my, virtual office the next day. So I don't know if it was linked to that or not, but I think that it just really takes, time, it just takes time and talking to people and belief in the product, and you just end up, it'll come over time, I feel like.
Okay, Lushonda wondered, how do you send a cart to customers? But I'm also wondering, how did you just get a couple orders and you didn't know it? Did you put your link on your Facebook page?
No.
How did they order?
I don't know. I actually, one of the orders came in from a high school friend of mine who is Facebook friends with me, but we literally haven't spoken or, been in contact for almost 30 years. So I have no idea if she just kind of has been sort of watching what I've been doing. And that's the other thing. You just never know, right? I mean, you may put out some type of post on Facebook or Instagram and not get that much interest that you think you don't, but you don't know who's out there watching and who's paying attention. And the only thing I can think of is that she saw what I was doing and she ordered and put my name.
For English, please press.
Hold on. Things are out of control here.
Hello, and please listen carefully as our menu options.
Okay. What was I going to ask you?
So the cart part of that, I've been really experimenting with this because I heard at the last conference that we would be able to do this. And so I've been trying and trying, and I think it does work. So if you go to your your website and then you put in the cart, what the potential customer wants, and then you share it, like you share your cart with them, they should be able to receive that and order from that.
Are you logged in as a partner when you're doing that on juiceplus.com?
Yes.
Yeah. So you go to juiceplus.com. We haven't really gone over this.
Oh, actually, no, Sharon, I'm sorry. I'm in my Facebook page. So I actually go to my personal Facebook page. And I think it does ask you to log in as a partner there too.
Not Facebook.
I'm sorry. Website, my personal website.
Hunters.juiceplus.com. You go in there, you put stuff in the cart, and then there's a thing for sharing.
Well, it doesn't say sharing, but there's at the bottom of your, let me see if I can show you here.
Where would yeah, you could share.
So I actually have like an order in here. Somebody wanted to order the Omegas. So I put it in the cart for her. And then at the bottom, I don't know if you can see like this button here.
Okay.
You can actually share it and then send it to whoever you've been communicating with.
Awesome. So hopefully that helped LaShonda. And then Michelle says you could put the rep name on when you're ordering. Like if you're a long lost person from high school and she's like, I know she's Juice Plus rep, I'm just going to put her name. Because she decided that's probably what happened. Okay, back to Stace.
So I like what Kristen did. I don't know if you guys noticed that. She got on the phone with her, right? So she could explore to catch up and then find out, more of what she was looking for. And then she talked about extra products, like introducing the Omega. You got to remember, like, they don't know what we have unless we talk to them about it. So another example is I had a friend reach out to me from Facebook. This is a contact 7 years ago. So again, Kristen is totally right. You just don't know who's watching and who sees. So your consistency in posting just about whatever in life keeps you relevant enough in Facebook's eyes to where more of people that are your friends will actually see your posts, whatever they are. So you want to be seen as a conversationalist. So commenting and putting the heart on people's messages, commenting really does keep that to where more of your friends see the posts that you make, whatever they are. So she had been commenting on some of my other posts, but never had mentioned Juice Plus. I had a Juice Plus conversation with her way back then, but it just wasn't of interest to her. So she reached out and said, hey, Lydia is just such a picky eater. I really need to get her some good vitamins. Can you tell me more about what you guys have? Do you have it in a chewable form? So she first, just had the discussion. She was just interested in chewables for her daughter. So I could have left it there, right? But like Kristen said, we have the opportunity to offer the health study, like where the kids get it for free. I'm not going to just take the child's order and leave it with that. Like I know her mom can can use more fruits and veggies. And so I said, just so you know, with the, she can get hers for free with any adult order. And she said, well, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's my husband and my and Lydia that don't eat enough veggies. So I'm not really interested in me, but I am for her. And I said, okay, well, maybe it would be Matt's order that she's sponsored, but she can still get hers for free. So I said, I would really like to chat and catch up with you. Oh, I was painting the fence. And so I said, I can't call right now, but I can text in between, projects and stuff. So we were texting back and forth. And then I said, really, I would love to just chat with you. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do that this afternoon. I should have just taken the time to do it though. Like really just stopped what I was doing and had the conversation with her, because it did delay it out about a week and a half of like us trying to find a time that worked to talk and all that. So in the end, we did end up getting on the phone, and I had already sent her some videos. She had watched those. And as we were placing her order, she decided she was going to get the gummies for herself. So she did the trio gummy. So it moved from fruit and vegetable gummies just for her daughter to the trio for her and the gummies for her daughter. And then I said, as I was filling out the order form, because she said, okay, well, you can just send me the cart and, a link, and I'll go ahead and do it. And I said, look, we're on the phone. Let me do that for you. It's only going to take me 5 minutes to get your information. And then I have it in case we ever need it in the future. And, it's my pleasure. It's no big deal. I'll help you out. And she said, okay, good. Because sometimes I get distracted. And I was like, I totally understand. So I like to get their order and do it for them for that reason. So I could have just sent her the cart, right? If I would have just sent her the cart, she would have only ordered fruit and vegetable gummies for herself and for her daughter. But as we were doing the order, I said, okay, so you're doing the trio gummies for yourself, right? The fruit, vegetables, and berries. And she said, well, do you think that the berries are really that beneficial? And I said, absolutely, absolutely, because it's 10 different berries and grapes. And I said, heart disease is the #1 killer in America. To be able to get 10 berries and grapes for 83 cents a day, like how else can we do that? Think about how much one thing of blackberries counts, and this is 10 every single day. And she was like, yeah, you're right. And I said, so I do recommend the berries. And there was something else she had talked about. I think it was inflammation in her joints. So I tied that back to something she had mentioned to me. And she said, okay, go ahead and do that too. And so I got her daughter's information, and I said, okay, now what about the omegas? Did you think about that? Do you take an omega? And she said, well, I know I should take an omega, but I hate the fish. And I said, me too. They smell nasty, and then you're burping it back up. And she was like, oh, it's disgusting. And I said, okay, so you're really going to like these. And I told her it doesn't have fish. We went into it. And then she said, well, how much more is that? And I said, it's only $1 more a day. And I said, it's $30 a month. So it's just $1 a day for the omegas, and there's no fish. And she's like, yeah, let's add that too. And I think I had said, what I notice is, because she'd been talking about, she was super stressed. They're military. They're going to be moving overseas to Portugal. And she was, just stressed about a dog. Like she had talked a lot about stress. So I said, our brains depend on good fats. And when I take the omegas, I find that I'm just more calm and I'm able to handle things in life better. And she was like, oh gosh, I totally need to handle things in life better. And I said, I don't know if you'll notice the same thing, but a lot of people have told us that. And she said, yeah, let's go ahead and add the omegas. And so in the end, she said, my husband will I'll share them with my husband and we'll all take it. So we might need more sooner than that. And I said, okay, no worries. Just let me know. And so then that's where it ended. Now I did not introduce the business to her because, one, her belief was just kind of wavering. It really was. It was still kind of like, let me try this. Let me just see how it is. She didn't mention anyone else she would like to share it with other than she was going to be possibly having Matt take it as well. And then she just was, I don't know. I just didn't get a strong vibe of like, I would love to do this. And she's a little on the negative side too. So I don't know. I just didn't feel like now was the time to bring that conversation in. But I totally made that decision, right? Like, is that fair that I made that decision for her? So remember, at the end of the month, we can go back to those customers that we've gotten this through this month and just let them know, hey, I mentioned this, or I didn't mention this, but I want to let you know you have the option to get paid on this order for yourself, some money back. And are you thinking of anyone else you would like to share this with? This is how we're making a change in the world, is helping one family at a time. And so you just never know. If the answer is no, if I don't ask, right? It's an absolute no. So at least have the conversation and let them decide that. So sometimes you can tell, like, I don't know, it's just not the right timing. And then other times you just kind of got to be brave and put yourself out there and just ask, because you're just never sure. So that was one example of moving it to, just one product, just the fruit, the veggies, just the duo, to a quad order by getting on the phone and talking to them. So that, I just can't say that enough, how important it is to have that face-to-face connection or that phone conversation. You can just find out so much more.
So I love that, Stace. Can you guys tell us, sometimes we're apologetic by nature, when we're just kind of watching people's pocketbooks, or that's like an old fashioned term, wallets, I guess. We're watching their wallets. We don't want to say how much it is, but you see how Stacy's just telling what it is. She's not getting over emotional. She's saying what would be good for them and all that. So sometimes you have to think about, what do I take? If you're taking the quad and you're loving doing the shake all the time and you're eating the bars and you're having a tower garden, don't be afraid to just let them know that this is what I'm doing. They will definitely watch their own wallet. You don't have to. And that's something we had to learn from like 21 years ago, because we started out with just the duo and the shake. So when the berries came along, it was like, I remember I said, well, I said this to Abby, I'm definitely signing up Doug for the berries because they had just come out. And those are good for the heart. And he's a walking heart attack. I always thought. And so, anyway, she's like, why wouldn't you want the berries? You're going to get more antioxidants. You're going to get the rest of the rainbow. You're going to get the blues and the purples, And so when I talk about the berries, I talk about blues and purples are good for the brain, they're good for the heart, they're good for circulation. It's the rest of the rainbow. Every color does different things. So for us to only sign people up on duos, I feel like it's an injustice. So just keep that in mind, that really, if you got to look at, what am I usually signing people up for? Same with me. I have a hard time talking about the quad. I have a hard time with recommending the quad because I'm so stuck on the trio and the shake. So I know that about me. You've got to know about you, where you're at, and maybe, you need to listen to some videos or whatever. And I need to learn more about the quad. I want to learn from people who recommend the quad all the time and the shake, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing the trio and the shake. So, if you're only saying the duo, I feel like the people are not going to get as many results and not as fast. So I always talk about results, transformation, energy, faster. Let's get you started. Let's get you more concentrated fruits and vegetables instead of, I know, money's an issue. If you know money's an issue, then you introduce the business also. All right, I'll hand that back over to you, Stace.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like just offer it. And I did say to that girl, I said, and we also have, because we never got to the shake side of things. So I said, and we also have an all plant-based smoothie mix. I don't know if you guys do smoothies or if you're looking for an easy meal replacement. You mentioned you're vegan. This is a vegan shake, and it just makes for a really simple, quick meal that actually tastes good. And it's 20 more plant foods. And she said, yeah, I'm just really not a smoothie person. I don't really enjoy them. I don't like smoothies. I rarely make them. And I said, okay, no worries. Just thought I would toss that out there to see. She could have easily said, oh gosh, yes, I've been looking for a vegan protein shake, right? And she could have ordered. So just toss that out. And that's one thing I say, oh, and we also have, and then I'll just go through. It's like you're going through the order form with them. So, sometimes we get really stuck on events and inviting to events, and we think like all things around an event. Events are sometimes just like what we go back to the conversation and we bring it back up by inviting them to this new event. If we based our business off of, I'm a success at Juice Plus of how many people I get to events, well, I'm failing, guys, because it's a couple of people sometimes you get in a month to come to an event, a handful, 10 or less, to all of the events that we invite to. And it's just because people are busy or whatever, but it's something else to bring into conversation. It's another way for you to develop your skills. It's another way to show that you are out there actually living the walk and, teaching people about health and wellness. It's a part of our, job, if you will. It's an important aspect to it. And it can get overwhelming because there's so many, like we see everybody's events, but I would say at least be doing 2 events of your own to where you are presenting and you are inviting to those events, and then pick 1 or 2, that you see that are out there that somebody else is doing that you can get excited about. And then it's your excitement in that invitation that can get them onto that. But they're more likely to get on an event if it's your event that you are doing. You're personally hosting it and you're saying, hey, I'm doing this event and I would love to have you on. You're going to get way more people on that than just inviting them to all of these events that are out there. And it's a continued education, right? Like we can use events for that. But if events are the only thing that you're doing and you feel like you're just like you're inviting to all these events and people aren't coming, maybe check how many true conversations you're having. So an event is like a support activity. Unless you're doing it yours, if it's your event, it is a business building activity. If you're inviting to somebody else's event, that's really just think of that as like a support activity or like a customer care or a follow-up, but it's not really a business building. Those conversations you have on the phone, one-on-one with people or on Zoom or in person, those are business building activities. And that does count. That frontline direct to you activity is what's going to build your business the most. But don't judge your success if you're just looking at how many people you get to events. Would you agree with that, Sharon?
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely in agreement with that. I feel like the event, like the one I've been putting on, the One Simple Change, I want like that just to be there, that in case that can capture a conversation. Like you've had a conversation, you're in conversation with somebody, and now you say, oh, you know what? Tonight there's an overview of all the products. It's more like, let's seal the deal here. Let's get that third party validation. Because we're talking to people, we have to maybe have third party validation either through a video or an event. But really, the talking to people is what Stacey's saying. We can be the driver of our own business. We don't need to wait for an event. Beth Leopold does not wait for an event. She doesn't wait for anything. She gets on a 3-way call or Zoom. She's like, why would I wait for an event? She's like 100 Club and she's got 100 clubs and NMDs under her. She gets on a 3-way call and it could be a Zoom, and I think the other night, Kimmy had one person she was talking to at one time and one person on another time. And I said, merge them together. I'll get on a Zoom with you, So it's like, let's just hop on Zoom. It's so easy if you want to see people face to face. Or, right now, Kimmy's like just somebody we're working with because she's bringing lots of people to us. So Kimmy's on a call right now from an event. Was it Monday night? And so I'm pretty sure she's just going to seal the deal. But she already said to 3 of us on text, hey, if I need you, maybe one of you guys can hop on the call. She understands the power of just third party validation. And she really wants this person to get on Juice Plus. So, there's all different ways to do it. But you've got to actively have these conversations and work on what is the next thing with that person, and also not be afraid to tell them about all the products.
And Sharon, you've always taught us, like, strike while the iron's hot. I always remember you saying that, like, when the interest is there, don't delay it. Don't chicken out at that part. Don't, procrastinate and keep painting the fence. Like, get on the phone, stop what you're doing, get on the phone and move that conversation forward. Because I could have lost her. I could have lost her just the same. And, there was somebody that I posted something yesterday and she sent me a message and said, hey, I'm interested in learning more about your capsules. And it was late at night. It was like 11:30. Otherwise, I would have said, hey, let's hop on the phone. But I said, okay, I'm about to head to bed, watch these videos. And then I would love to chat with you. I would, just want to know update on your family. And it was somebody who lived here and came to my mom's group and then moved away. I think she's in Alaska. So I said, let's chat soon. I really want to catch up with you. And she said, okay, I'll watch these and let you know. So I'll give her time and then like today, and then I'll send her a message and say, hey, do you have a couple minutes? Let's chat. And that was, moving it.
She just said, okay, watch these videos. Like she didn't say, oh, well, can you watch these videos? No. Stacey's taken ownership of her business. Hey, watch these videos. I'm going to give you a call. I can't wait to catch up. I mean, it's that simple. It doesn't have to be like timid. You guys are facilitating people moving along on their journey. Alicia?
Yeah, I had a perfect example of that yesterday, even the whole conversation and how big that is and how it helps. One of my customers tried just emailing me, of all things, to delay her healthy starch shipment. And I suggested a date. And then she emailed me back and was like, how about the omegas? And I was like, done with the email. Pick up the phone. I picked up the phone. Conversations happened. She delayed. That's fine. We delayed it for a couple months, but then she placed an omega order. It's so vitally important. Like, take charge and just get on the phone, facilitate, show them, like, you obviously have questions, or you're wondering what else you can take, or what's going on in your life that causes you to have to delay the product. And she admitted that they went a couple of weeks without taking it and they're trying to pick up, so they know they're going to have a surplus of product. But again, that whole thing that Stacey keeps stressing to us, like building the relationships, having the conversations, just getting on the phone, even it was almost 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, if you're emailing me, you're awake. I'm just going to pick up the phone and call you. Done. End of subject. And I got an order. So yeah, I just wanted to confirm that testament. And then also yesterday, Michelle was doing an event with someone when we had a trade show on Saturday, which I immediately followed up with my leads that evening saying, I loved meeting them, etc. And yesterday, 10 minutes before an event, it never occurred to us to invite those people that we met on Saturday to this event. And I texted away as quickly as I could. I'm like, so sorry, there's a presentation in 10 minutes. If you'd like to learn more, I figured I'd let you know. Sure enough, one of my leads actually jumped on. And they've been communicating. So, we can't assume things ever. It's just a matter of taking charge again, just facilitating, taking charge, having the conversations, and just taking the chances, because things come about.
And think about that too. You're exactly right. Like if you go to the store and you're looking for something specific and you want help buying it, like I went into the store, I'm looking for an ice chest. Let's just make that up. And this is an ice chest store. And there's lots of options for ice chests. Wouldn't I want to talk to the salesperson who knows about the ice chest? And if they come up and say, what you looking for today? And I'm like, clearly I'm here for an ice chest. Please direct me to what I need. And then they can ask you, what are you going to use the ice chest for? Where are you going to take it? Do you need wheels for it? Is it, going to be your extra refrigerator in your kitchen? Like, they could ask you a lot of different questions to find out, and then they lead you to the one. They're not going to say, well, how much? Well, I don't think that this one would be something you can afford. They don't know how much money I have and how much I'm willing to invest in that. Like, you just show them the ice chest, tell them what the ice chest is, and then help them make the purchase of the ice chest, versus just leaving them and saying, okay, here's the ice chest. Call me back in a couple days if you have any questions. No, they would say, okay, this is the one we picked out. Let me get it to the front for you, and I'll help you get checked out. Think of it that way, like, help them get checked out. And that's going to be through a conversation most of the time, or like sending the cart, but like, move it to the point of checkout. And that's actually helping the customer. It's not being salesy. It's helping them get what they're already wanting, especially when they're reaching out to you and asking for it. Why would we leave them hanging? Like, move them to the point of let's get you going, help them check out.
Darby?
Yes, so I belong to a very large Sunday school class, and the ages are really from about 30 to 100, and I'm not kidding. And so living in New Mexico, we don't have the opportunity of the things that you have opportunity to get from your doctor. And so during the prayer requests now for the last couple of months, I mean, they're saying so-and-so has COVID, so-and-so died from COVID. And I'm telling all of them every time that they're adding this, that you don't have to die from COVID. And they know my story. So finally, it has taken, I'm going to say, a month of Sundays for them to start asking me how to get the hydroxychloroquine and the ivermectin. And that's starting the conversation. And so I sent the information to 4 people. So not only did I get their phone number, but I got their email addresses. And so one of the people that emailed me, her husband has MS. And so she's been emailing me. And so I just invited her to Gwen's event on Friday night. So, it's all kinds of different ways that you come into contact with people that need your help, and they need your help in all kinds of different ways. And then, if they get the ivermectin, like the Sunday school teacher's mother came over, and I gave her hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, and now we're going to be talking about Juice Plus with her. And she had COVID, and she said, I cannot believe how fast I got well. And so I can just say, lead in with that comment to what Juice Plus can do for her too. So it's just a new avenue. And then I've been going to the Honda dealership the last over the last 2 weeks, and been working with a lady by the name of Patsy. And we got to talking when we were test driving, and she asked me what I did, and I told her, and she goes, oh, well, my husband doesn't eat any vegetables at all. And I said, oh, you need to bridge the gap with that dude. And so we got to talking. And then the next time I went back, she said, give me your card. And she said, I can go online. Well, I've never had anyone go online and order for themselves. And I said, well, it's real easy. When you get to my website, it's going to ask you whether you're a customer or a partner. Just click on customer. And so when I went back yesterday, she turns 50. And so I said, oh, this would be a great birthday present for you. And she said, well, my husband is 17 years younger than I am. And I said, well, when he orders, make sure he gets the berry blend. And then she asked why. And so I told her, and she goes, oh. So I'm going back to see her again today. So we'll hopefully get that order taken care of today.
No holds barred with Darby.
Listen, at this age, I'm not ashamed. I'll be 70 in May, girlfriend.
Oh, congratulations.
And Darby, it's like you said, it's a series of exposures, right? Like it's not just one conversation. It took 4 times of having that conversation in the Sunday school class before people really start to understand. We learn in a series of exposures. That's how our brains, repetition. Think of ads that you see. Why do they have remarketing ads? I forget exactly, retargeting ads. It's because it's usually by the 4th time that I see the ad that I actually order. I am the worst at, or I'm like Facebook marketers' best friend. I order so much off of that. It's like, it knows what I'm looking for. It's listening, right? And then it shows me the ad and I see it and I look at it a couple of times. And then it's usually the 4th time that I'm like, let me really dig into this. And then I click on the link, I learn about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is what I want. And I order. So there's a way of marketing, and repeat marketing or retargeting marketing is a thing. And so having multiple conversations with people, it's sort of that same mindset of, letting them see it again and another time, and just reintroducing it to people. It's a series of exposures that you just don't know how many times. Is it 1 time for somebody or is it 7 times for somebody? But you just bring it into that conversation again as you can. And that's kind of what the events are. It's sort of a invitation to an event is another exposure. It's just bringing it back in. So
with
I
the
got fun, guys.
We're sending a webinar that might be specific or new, like when you run across a new video, then you just restart the conversation. Like you should be having lots of different conversations that you're juggling because everybody's at a different point, it's not a straight line where, everything just works out perfectly. So you want to have lots of conversations. So you're juggling. Welcome, Nathaniel. That's okay. Better late than never, like you said. So also, if you haven't followed up and you feel bad, now you don't want to follow up, that's not good either. So just follow up. Just say, hey, sorry, I haven't followed up. Life's been busy. I'm sure it's busy on your end. Would love to reconnect or restart this conversation, that we had. So don't be afraid to do that. Sometimes people are like, oh, I feel bad, I haven't followed up. So then they don't follow up at all. But then you're really not helping the people. I mean, you have to think about, am I helping people get healthy? These are tools that we have and they don't know about it. So we've got to share it, whether they order or not, that's up to them. And you can always say that, you can always say, hey, you can order from anybody, but I have an obligation to make sure you know about this because it's done amazing things for thousands or millions of people, whatever you want to say, millions, or thousands that I know personally, whatever, or my family, whatever you do know, that's what you share. Okay, so let's see if we have any last questions and then we'll go. Any questions? It's like being at school.
I don't have any questions, but I have a scenario that happened that speaks to what you just said, because I had someone who I had spoken to about Juice Plus. She saw me on an interview. Her cousins interviewed me on their show. And so we talked and she was like, oh, I'm really interested in that. So I sent her videos. And then I even invited her to the business event I had where I shared how you save money on taxes. So I sent her to she got exposed to 2 things right away. And then she finally watched the video and I said, what did you think? And she never responded. Well, I was so busy because I'm always talking to so many people. I didn't realize until like maybe 5 days later. So I said, oh my gosh, like I totally like dropped the ball on her, first of all, and then she didn't respond. So I always do what Sharon had told me to do. All I did was say, hey, and I said her name and I said, did you see my last message? And sure enough, she didn't receive my last message. She didn't even know that I had asked her, would it be something that she's ready to start, implementing herself? Because I said, hey, how was the video? Are you ready to like start implementing taking Juice Plus? She even showed me a screenshot. She never got that message. And so she was like, I am really interested and I should probably do the business too. So just don't assume things. Like people a lot of times are not ghosting, they're busy. Technology's insane. We know this from being on Zoom most of the time. There's always something going on. Like she didn't get my message. She might have been somewhere where the reception wasn't coming through and it never went through. I don't know, but she's truly interested. So always veer on the side of optimism is what I do. I'm always more optimistic than I am pessimistic. I think that will help you a lot. Instead of thinking the worst, think the best.
Think the best. That is one of the principles in some book. I forget which one. Okay, so I think you should do the tax thing again. That was one thing that popped in my mind when you said that, because you've had so many scenarios, and I think other people have as well. So maybe popcorn and movie night, you know, make it just a different flyer, and I think we would all take part. And Nathaniel, I don't remember where that video is. Are you in Facebook Team Transformers? Because I think we probably posted it there. We definitely posted it on Voxer, but we can get that to you. And then does anybody want to answer Nathaniel's question about the research? Does anybody know more about the scientific research and studies about the benefits of Juice Plus? I mean, we go over it on all the different One Simple Change presentations. It's actually outlined on there. On your virtual office, if you go to quick links on the right, you can download a research summary, which is awesome. There's so many ways you can learn about the research. You can go on your own juiceplus.com or just juiceplus.com, and all the research is there. You can click through. And then I have 3 YouTube videos. Either if you're really into YouTube and learning, then that's either under Sharon Farrar 1, the number sign 1, all one word, or Team Transformers, which I don't remember whether that's all one word or not. So Nathaniel, get back with your sponsor or leader to make sure you get all the information you need on that. Okay. All right. So today's Wednesday. Next up will be Friday Lunch and Learn. But in the meantime, have some conversations, capture those conversations, and let's move the people forward, figure out a good next step. And we'll see you then.
Hey, Sharon, just real
Thank
quick
you.
before everybody goes, have you had any success with the mermaid challenge? Because I've had like 4 orders from it. I don't know if anybody else has, but it's
That's what you were saying that you got all your orders from, or your last orders.
yeah, a lot of them have been the mermaid challenge, which has been really great.
Barry me that I didn't talk to, and I'm like, is she on Facebook? Did she see my Barry post? I'm not sure, but I do think. I mean, my son Daniel, who's in the army, is like, Mom, mermaid challenge. I'm like, all right, it's been like 4 or 5 years. Like everybody else has done it. I know it works. The mermaid challenge works. If you post it, I don't know why. I'm not a mermaid, okay? I'm not one of those people that acts like a mermaid, or is girly. But once you post that mermaid thing, you got mermaids coming out of the woodwork. So I'm sorry, Nathaniel. I don't know where to tell you about that with the mermaid. But yes, post, just go on our walls. If you haven't friended other people from the team on Facebook, you're losing out. So follow along. Plus, if you're not in Team Transformers new chat, get in there so you get this information. But the mermaid challenge is the bomb. I do have somebody who said she was going to order Monday, and I need to follow up. And then I had a couple, I just put people in there once they said they wanted to do it. And so I need to circle back and say, okay, you ready to order the berries? Because there were like 3 people for sure. But yeah, 3 or 4 customers on berries. I mean, that's great. See what happens.
So is all you posted was just that mermaid thing, and then you got the orders after that? Yeah, because I haven't had any activity actually on mine. I just had Melody actually responded to mine, but that was pretty much it. So I'm hoping, I don't know, we'll see.
The other thing is, sometimes you want to make your post public so that there's more exposure, but also if you haven't gotten any traction, you could say, hey, can you comment on my post so that it'll just bring it up, to other people, because it'll just bring it out. Okay, where's the mermaid post? It's on Kristen Winter's Facebook page. It's on my Facebook page. I don't know who else.
On mine, yeah, I did it too.
I got it from Jules. I can put it in the Team Transformers chat.
So Trina, get on Voxer on the Team Transformers chat. That's where you'll get a lot of good information. Glad to see you here. You've heard debunkers say Juice Plus is no more effective than taking vitamins. We have education that we can help you with, Nathaniel. It really depends on, are you sharing videos or are you trying to, I would say definitely you've got to go third party validation so that you don't have debunkers. You know, friends and family call when you're new. It's good to get rid of family debunkers. And any of our events is good for that. And then we have video. You know, it is absolutely more effective than taking vitamins. Vitamins, you're getting 30. Apple, you're getting 10,000. So, you know, and we have video too. So we can work on that. Okay. Natalie, you have something?
I was just asking, when some people say there's 30 fruits and vegetables, there's over 40 fruits and vegetables.
Concentrates of.
I'm sorry.
I would say the concentrates or the essence of.
The concentrates or the essence. What number do you go with? Because whenever I'm reading everybody's post, there's always different numbers.
Okay, so I go with 30 for the trio. Then people say 15 for the shake. So sometimes people might say 45.
Okay, so that's where they're coming from, the shakes. I've been like sitting here, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my math, but.
Okay. And then there's more in the omegas too. So if they're doing the quad, it's like another, 6 to 8, I think, are in the omega.
Yeah, 6 from the omegas, so over 50 with all of them.
Okay, so 6 in the quad. No, I mean,
yeah, 6.
Right, so there you go. That's 50 or 51. Well, so it's okay. So I'm gonna know how to get. You guys can go if you want to. I'm just gonna do it really quickly.
Anyways, we can only hear a baby talking. I can't even.
Sorry, I'll mute.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to show Nathaniel when you go into your virtual office. Nathaniel, write in the chat whether you have your virtual office. Go in there, and there's a summary. I'm going to go to quick links, okay? And I'm going to get a summary of the research. So I'm signing in. I'm going to go to the right, which I love quick links for everything. So you hit quick links up at the top right square. Okay, see how there's options, create or edit my websites if you haven't done that. Submit Juice Plus order, Healthy Starts for Families order, Tower Garden, add new rep, personalized research summary. Go there. And then you got USA. Okay. And then what's magical, hold on. Come on, where's my magic? I'll press it again. Okay, so this used to be my website address. I can put in here my phone number, 579-4009, and I can put SharonFerrar.juiceplus.com, and I can save it. And so now the research summary will have that on the second page. Okay, so the first page of the research summary, so you can hand it to somebody, you can print it, give it to a doctor, whatever. So here are the summaries of what's happened in the studies: bioavailability, oxidative stress, systemic inflammation, and you see underneath all these journals support that Juice Plus is bioavailable and gives you nutrients, okay? So you can read that. Oxidative stress, all these journals show that there's less oxidative stress. If you look up any disease process, it's going to say there's a lot of oxidative stress. So we want to reduce that. Systemic inflammation is highly correlated to any disease. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 journals showing less systemic inflammation. Immune system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 journals showing your immune system is better. And I know that within 80 days it is. DNA, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 showing better DNA. Okay, less DNA strand breakage. Heart health, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 under heart health. Okay, and those are all different types of studies, whether it's homocysteine levels, healthy LDL, or less constriction of the arteries after a high fat meal. Healthier skin, 1, 2 studies. Dental health, 2 studies. Quality of life study at MD Anderson, 1 study. Obesity and absorption of nutrients, less adiposity, better insulin resistance, things like that, 4 different studies. Lung health, better pulmonary function with smokers. Who doesn't want that? That's the journal. Okay, so here are the places. So the journals are at the top. The places that Juice Plus have been studied are here. And then here's the clinical research underway. And then look, for more information about research, visit yada yada. So then say they then say, oh, but I want to read the studies. All right, so we go to juiceplus.com. And then I hope Nathaniel's still here. I can't really see. So then we go there, or we just tell them, go to sharonfarrar.juiceplus.com. Okay, so I would never just send them to juiceplus.com. Let's see, where is it, you guys? Our products? There it is, clinical research. Okay, so on here is where you would direct them. So if I was on sharonfarrar.juiceplus.com, I'd go up there, get that browser or whatever it's called, that link up there, and I would send them this. Okay, Juice Plus clinical research. Here are here's information. Here's the hospitals and universities. Here are the different categories, just like the research summary, but you can click on this. So if I click on Journal of the American College of Nutrition, it takes me to the journal. It takes you to the abstract first, okay? So that's how you can find the research, and there is no way that it's no more effective than taking vitamins. So you're gonna show them that, and if they know anything, they're gonna understand. All right, guys, have an awesome day.
Thank you.
Bye, you
Thank you,
too.
Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
You too.
Good one, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Go out there and conquer the world, guys. Be bold, be strong.
Thank you, everybody.
Great to see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.